business to go to another level. You must try to learn and hear something new. So make a change today. So don't procrastinate and see your business grow and change. So check out Testing Results, yeah, with Toni Harris Taylor. Toni Harris Taylor. Testing Results, oh yeah, Toni Harris Taylor. Yeah.
Welcome to the Drastic Results with Toni Harris Taylor show. My name is Toni Harris Taylor. I'm the CEO and founder of Drastic Results, where I help entrepreneurs get known, get connected, and get paid to make six figures and beyond. I am also the proud multi-unit franchise owner for Network in Action, and I love connecting, collaborating, and giving more referrals, helping our members to do that with one another. Welcome to today's show. Today's show, I have a special guest, Mr. Toni Jackson. And Toni actually lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I remember the first time I met Toni virtually, he said, and I'm going to straighten this camera. So he said I was speaking and he was introducing me. And he said, I knew when I saw Toni speaking, I had to be here. He said, because Dr. George C. Fraser named her Power Networker of the Year. And I was on a call this morning with a billionaire and her name was mentioned. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you go viral. To have your name mentioned in rooms where you're not even in, so much so that someone says they want to meet you. Of course, I do what I do. And Toni and I had a one-to-one. I've been on his show. He's been on, he's helping me with the tour. You'll hear more about that. And it's just been amazing. And I don't think we've met in person yet. So we are super excited. You'll hear about me coming to Charlotte. For those of you who follow Toni, I am coming to Charlotte to teach you how to use networking to have your name said in rooms you're not even in a positive way, by the way. Because your name could be said in a negative way, and that will not help you go viral. Please don't be that person. But to have your name say in a positive way so that people will want to connect with you. Showing up so that you are receiving awards and accolades so that people want to know who you are. So Toni and I are going to have some good conversation here. He's also known as the Real Money Coach, and we'll talk a little bit about his business too. So we'll be right back with my guest, Toni Jackson, the Real Money Coach.
Do you have passion for your business but feel like your finances are falling short? Running a business takes more than a great idea. It takes a solid financial plan. Mitchell Consulting can help you turn your passion into profit with their financial advisory services. Get the financial guidance your business needs. Contact Mitchell Consulting to learn more about their passion to profit capabilities.
So that was a fitting break there because I met Michelle Mitchell through Toni Jackson. Now Michelle is a sponsor at the Viral Networking Conference. Go figure. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. I think that's what networking is all about when they said your network is your net worth. So Toni, thank you for having me. And actually, we have been in the same room together in person, but never met because
we were at the conference, right?
Yeah, we were at the conference when George gave you that wonderful award. And then when you popped on that Zoom meeting, I was like, this is a person I need to know.
I appreciate you so much. And so in your own words, tell us who you are and what you do.
So my name is Toni Jackson. Most people know me as the Real Money Coach. And for 25 years, I have been doing financial services helping people increase, protect, and dominate their money, which is also the title of my book. And what that involves is just, preparing for retirement so that we can retire financially free, no debt, no taxes, no stress, and also making sure that our assets are protected along the way, which also includes things like life insurance and other asset protecting strategies. And so that we can not just be talking about generational wealth, but can actually be having a plan in place to leave generational wealth. And so that's what I've been doing for 25 years on a professional level. On a more personal level, what I'm proud of is my wife and I will soon celebrate. Matter of fact, a few days after the Viral Networking Conference stopped here in Charlotte, a few days before that, we'll be celebrating our 31 years of marriage.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. We have 4 children, 4 grandchildren, and a grandchild on the way. So,
wow.
Life has been good to us, and I love what I do, and I love people, and so it's just been a great ride.
And you have a show yourself.
Yes. So I do have a live show, The Real Money Coach. Started out in April 2nd of 2020. We were doing a one show, right? Because at that time, Tony, people were concerned about losing their money because of COVID. They were seeing the stock market crashing, and we were getting calls where people want to know what's going on. And so my partner and I, Marlon Smith, we decided we'd do a one show just to explain it on Facebook and YouTube. And we did that. Went so well. People really liked the information. We said, well, let's do it again next week. And the next week, actually, my guest was Michelle Mitchell, and we were talking about money. And then we just kept doing it. Marlon stuck with me for about a year. And then Michelle came on as my co-host. And so I've been doing that for 3 years. And then that has evolved into a radio show. And so I have a radio show on Radio 1, Praise 100.9 here in Charlotte. We average about 3,000 listeners every Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m. And then we also issue that as a podcast after the show airs on the air. So
you are a busy man.
I do stay busy.
Your show, you helping clients. I want to talk about the money part for a minute.
Okay.
My conference is the Viral Networking Conference. And one of the things I tell my clients and people who follow me is when you go viral and you are making money, put it in life insurance.
Yes.
Can you say more about advantages of life insurance that most people don't know about?
I'd be happy to do that. And as you're mentioning, Toni, life insurance is a Class A asset. A lot of people don't realize that it is an asset, but that also depends on which type of life insurance you're buying.
Sure.
Obviously, life insurance is for if we die prematurely, there's a death benefit so our families are taken care of and don't end up in the soup line, right? As we used to say.
Right.
But more than that, life insurance can serve as an asset that you can use to live off of. Some of the real advantages of that is that it is protected from economic downturns, right? Because when we think about this, when we think about the banking system, has the banking system ever crashed? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Has the real estate market ever crashed? Yes. Mm-hmm. Has the stock market ever crashed? Yes. Has the insurance industry ever crashed? No, we have not seen that. And so it's a very good asset. And then not only that, but you have the advantages of the fact that when you do take the money out of this particular asset to live off of, that it's all income tax-free money. So you're not paying any taxes on it. And so now it gives you more flexibility. And, can you imagine just not having to pay taxes on any of your income?
I know.
That certainly would increase our bottom line for sure, right?
So Toni, I want to, yes, absolutely. It's the best kept secret out there. And I am glad that I know, especially in our community, you have a voice around this. But I used to be in financial services. I think we mentioned about that. I'm going to get raw and real here. Can you talk to our brothers, our men?
Oh, Lord.
Face it or not. It's not, we can't control it, but Black men die young.
Well,
can we talk about that?
That is true. And you know, the thing about it is that we tend not to take care of ourselves.
That's
And you know, we don't want to go to the doctor. We don't want to do these things that we don't want to, eating what we want and not exercising. I mean, there's so many factors, Tony, that the reason why, not to mention the stress of living in a society where there's racism and all these other things that we're dealing with. I mean, when you have the stress of being pulled over by a police officer and you don't know if it's going to go one way or another, every little bit has an impact on us. But I think the most important part is the mindset. And I've talking to, I mean, just being real, I've talking to brothers and they've given me every kind of excuse in the world of why they shouldn't have life insurance even. You know, I don't want to make someone else rich. I don't want to, all these excuses that really kind of tear at the fabric of our community. And the reason why so many communities start ahead of us is because they plan for it, right? They plan for it. And we are in this mindset that we want our kids to bootstrap it because we had to bootstrap it. We want our kids to do these type of things. And, I don't want my kids to have to bootstrap it. I want them to start. I don't want them to start in the basement. I don't want them to start on the first floor. I want them to start higher. And I want my grandkids to start higher than that.
right.
And we need to start thinking about things in terms of generational rather than, what's in it for me right now.
I agree totally. And the most ignorant thing I've heard is I don't leave her money to give to another man.
Well, listen.
When you need to leave her money so she don't have to have another man.
Exactly. And that's what I tell people. People ask me that all the time. It's like, how much life insurance do you have? I say, I have enough that if something happens to me, my wife don't have to get another man, right? And if we leave them in a situation where they're dependent on someone else for their livelihood and their income, then what happens is we force them into the hands of the first dude that tries to pick them up at the grocery store with a big fat wallet or a checkbook, right? And so we don't need to do that. And someone that we both know, Dr. Emma Frazier Pendleton, she told me this one time, and I've been using it, giving her credit for it. She says when women ask her what they should be looking for in a man, she says, I tell them to find a man that will keep on giving even when he's done living.
Say that again.
A man who will keep on giving even when he's done living.
Woo, that should be on the dating questions.
There you go. There you
go. Well, I'm glad that you're on a mission to, to one person, one family at a time, break down those barriers. Let's talk about the Viral Networking Tour and why you said yes to being a co-host to the tour. So why did you say yes?
If I can get live, what's in this? Why wouldn't I be involved in it, right? Because I mean, as I read this and just having to get a chance to know you and what you're about, you are an expert. I mean, I have so much respect for you. And Toni, what's so impressive to me is that you just don't talk the talk, you walk it. I've lost count the number of people that you've connected me with, and some of those connections have really blossomed into relationships. And one of the things about networking, and you know this better than I do, is those relationships. Those are seeds that are planted in the ground, and we have no idea what the harvest will come out of those.
Right.
And sometimes when a farmer plants a seed, he doesn't expect that seed to produce fruit the next day. That doesn't happen. It takes nourishing, it takes time, it takes water, it takes sun, it takes a lot of elements, but eventually that plant brings forth fruit.
Right.
And I just believe that you are the queen of networking. You are a master of that. And so one of the things for me in my career is that, a lot of times when people are in financial services, they buy leads and they do all these things. For me, it's about the relationships. It's about the people I meet. It's about getting a connection.
Yeah.
And I love the virtual world and all that, but I'll tell you what, I take high touch over high tech. And and if you're going to bring it to my city where I live in, I have to be a part of it because I'm a fan of yours. And the other thing is, I think that there's people that will benefit from it, that can come and learn about networking. And one of the things, one of the traits, one of the I guess values, that you teach that I think is so powerful is that I've done it for years, gone to these networking events, and I come back with all these cards, or I give my card out, and now you have to try to figure a way to connect with along with everyone else. And I think some people have been very good at it. It is not something that I really had mastered, but I have mastered what you teach, and that is to leave that place with appointments, not cards.
Right. That's right. Say it again for the people in the back of the room.
So I've mastered that,
Yeah.
And just listening and studying what you're doing, I'm becoming even better at it, because I want to leave every event that I attend with appointments on my calendar.
Yeah.
And that is, to me, huge. And if you can come and learn some of the strategies that you teach in person, because I think there's twofold with the Viral Networking Tour. Number one is that you are going to meet people. You are going to make connections. You should leave with appointments. But the other thing is you're going to also learn strategies of how to network.
That's
and
right.
So to me, it's what do they call it? BOGO, right? Buy one, get one. You're going to learn how to do it. And then you're going to walk away with some very actionable things that you're doing. So
awesome. Well, thank you.
I'm excited about it, Toni.
Thank you so much for having, for saying yes. And I'm so grateful. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to ask you the one question I ask every one of my guests. So we'll be right back.
Is your current brand and marketing strategy not working? Do you feel stressed, frustrated, or stuck in not getting the exposure or engagement you want? Do you need the help of an experienced and knowledgeable team that can get you the results you desire?
We are Goodall,
Hill,
and Wallet, your creative brand and marketing strategists.
With over 30 years of combined experience, we help your brand to stand out, to attract and engage customers, and grow revenue. Take our free brand and marketing assessment quiz on our site.
We deliver your game plan,
help you to have a healthy mindset about your brand,
and with your winning team to help you deliver results.
We are GHW, GHWmarketingstrategy.com.
Let's get drastic, building relationships to get you known, get you connected, and get paid.
All right, so we are back with Mr. Toni Jackson, the real money coach. And thank you so much for saying that you have implemented my strategy of booking appointments on the spot. So I'm going to ask you the question that I ask all my guests.
Okay.
And that is, what's the most drastic step you've ever taken in business?
The most drastic step I've ever taken in business, I think the most drastic step that I've ever taken in business is just walking away from the corporate job. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes we're very comfortable, and the story is really, Toni, back in 1995, I was really looking at leaving my corporate job to become in financial services full time. And when the manager of the company that I was with at the time, they found out about it, they flew someone down from the corporate office to meet with me, and they offered me a very good opportunity to go to the corporate office, come back, and actually take my manager's job because he was planning on retiring. And I decided not to take that opportunity. And because I wanted to have my own business. I wanted to be independent. And so that was probably one of the most drastic things. Maybe what made it a little bit drastic as well is that we had this little 2-year-old daughter, and my wife was expecting again. And so, you're walking away from a solid check that's coming every week, with 2 mouths to feed. That's pretty drastic, and I don't recommend it for
4 miles to feed.
4 miles to feed, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
4 miles to feed. So
That's pretty drastic.
yeah, and I don't
Can I
recommend
ask
that
how
for
old you
everybody.
were at that time?
Pardon me?
How old were you at that time?
At that time, I was 27 years old.
Wow.
I was 27 years old. And went really through some things in life. I mean, that was my mom had recently passed. And so, it gone through these changes. And when my mom passed, my wife was pregnant with our first, and my mother never got a chance to meet the daughter. And then, I'm doing this job, and I like what I'm doing. I mean, I wasn't running from my job. It was going very well. So it wasn't that I was running from something, but I was running to something.
Wow.
I was running to entrepreneurship.
Wow.
And shortly after that, I mean, we had TJ, my son, who just graduated from Howard with double master's degree, and he's married and lives in Cincinnati now. And we soon after that, we were expecting again, because we had babies, boom, boom, boom.
Sounds like it.
And my mother-in-law rather, was keeping the kids, and she said, the third one's coming. I'm not doing this anymore. And so then my wife left her job to stay home with the kids. And so there's a lot of changes that was going on at that time. And, those were pretty drastic things.
Yeah.
And, thankfully, and, through our faith and everything else, we survived it. We had some lean times, right? And it's not something that I'd recommend to everyone to do. But that was pretty drastic at the time.
That was absolutely drastic.
And I remember my dad said to me, Tony, says, "You're going to quit your job to become an insurance man?" He said, "You're going to quit that degree and become an insurance man? Are you sure you want to do that?" Wow. Like, yeah, Dad, this is the move. So
wow. Well, I can't wait to get to Charlotte and really get to touch, feel, know you. And then all of us, me, you, and Michelle, pour into the audience our knowledge so that everybody leaves with a drastic mindset around their money.
Yes.
A drastic mindset around networking so that they can grow their business and Michelle can manage their money. So tell everybody how to get in touch with you.
So, and Tony, can I give you a little prelude of what's happening here in Charlotte too?
Sure.
And starting in 2024, the Power Networking Conference will also be in Charlotte for 3 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So Dr. Frazier was here last week, and we met with the city, and we signed that deal. And so the Power Networking Conference will be here. So that's a little prelude of what's to come in next year. So, but again, to get a hold of me, again, if you want to go to tonyjackson.biz, that's my electronic business card. There's links to my calendar where you can schedule an appointment right there, as well as links to my social media, to the show, all those type of things. And then certainly you can go to therealmoneycoach.com and get that information. And then my number is 517-395-7885, or you can simply go to Tony at The Real Money Coach. And can I share a story for you? I know I have all these stories. I get excited when I talk to you, Tony, because you bring so much energy.
Yes, please tell me.
So I was on the phone. My wife and I were in the car, and my daughter calls me and says, "Hey, I want you to hear something." So my 7-year-old grandson, I don't know why he did this, but he did it. And he asked Alexa, who is the real money coach? And Alexa says, Tony Jackson. And he was tickled. And I was like, there it is, right? When Alexa knows who you are and you can Google Toni, the Real Money Coach, and find me, I think that I am learning some stuff from you, young lady.
I'm gonna go ask mine. I'm glad it didn't pipe up when you said that, because you know they normally do that in the background. But I'm going to go and ask mine, who's the networking queen.
There you go. There you go.
I'm gonna work on it so they know who I am. Well, I'm so excited to be a partnered with the Alexa famous Real Money Coach. That's incredible. I love that story. Thank you so much, Toni Jackson. When we come back, we'll be back with my final thoughts.
Thank you.
The dexterous lifestyle is meant for those of us who live hectic lives. But with the right tools, information, and resources, we can strive for order, peace, health, wealth, and calm. It's not too much to ask. We deserve a dexterous mind, a dexterous body, and plenty of dexterous spaces to support our dexterous lifestyle.
All right. Thank you so much, Toni Jackson, for being our guest. Those of you in Charlotte, you want to know how to register for the city tour, go to vnc2023.com, click the register for the city tour button, and get registered. We will then send you a calendar invite with the location. The date is July 28th is our table for 10, which is our VIP intimate setting. Me, Toni, Michelle pouring into 10 people in an intimate setting. And then the next day, when you buy the VIP ticket, it includes the next day, which is Saturday the 29th, for the city tour. We're actually having an event. It includes lunch. It's going to be amazing. Everybody leaves with appointments guaranteed. It's built into the program, and we want to make sure you are there. So again, VNC 2023, click register for the city tour, and you will get all the details in email and in a calendar invite. I want to thank Mr. Toni Jackson and Michelle Mitchell for being the co-hosts of the Viral Networking Tour. They are amazing business owners. If you need their services, don't hesitate to reach out to them, because our network, that's the way you go viral. You connect with connectors, and then they will connect you to the next person. And then don't forget to share this show. As many people that can watch this show and get these great inspirational, motivational messages so that they can either start their business or stay in business, please share this show. And until we see you next time, remember, this is Toni Harris Taylor saying, take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. Bye.
With Toni Harris.